Hi, my wonderful art students. I am here for another fun video. I know some of you were wanting these videos, so now I get to make a few for you until Christmas. So that's kind of cool, right? What I wanted to do is start off with something for all of you guys from kindergarten through 5th grade. I had promised all of you that after Thanksgiving we were going to come back and do some Christmas ornaments. And I know it's kind of disappointing we didn't get to do that. So I thought I would show you a way at home that you can do Christmas ornaments with just things that you have laying around. And I thought it would be pretty cool. So I hope that you enjoy, and you don't have to do it right now. Maybe it's something that you guys plan together as a family, and you can gather the supplies and do it all together. So I hope you enjoy. All right, so I'm going to go over the list of supplies that you need for what we're doing. This is my messy desk area. You see some of my art supplies that I use for my own art. These are called watercolor markers, which is pretty cool because when you open them, the tip actually looks like a paintbrush. And when you add water to it, they turn into watercolor paints. But anyway, I might talk more about my art in the next couple of weeks, but anyway, you might recognize this area from the spring when I was doing all of our stuff in the spring. But anyway, so what we need for today is we need a paper clip. Most people have paper clips, so that's pretty easy. We need a piece of cardboard. Now I had these honey buns, Little Debbie's, that I cut up. So any kind of cereal box, granola bar box, something like that. We need a cardboard like that. We need some foil. And we need a dull pencil. Now, the reason I said dull, you'll find out in a minute. If it is too sharp, it actually won't work well, and I'll tell you why in a minute. We are going to make these shiny Christmas ornaments that have embossments in it, and I will tell you more about that later. But the cool thing is they look shiny, and they're pretty easy to make for all ages. And they're just pretty fun. So anyway, first thing that we're gonna do, oh, I'm sorry, you also need something to make a circle. So I just grabbed a plastic cup. I'm gonna use the smaller side of the circle to trace, and that's the only reason that you need that. Okay, I forgot to mention that you will also need a glue stick or the liquid glue and a pair of scissors. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to try and set my what we want to do is we want to trace the cup to make a circle template. Okay, so you don't have to do 2 circles. I first started off drawing the small circle, but I decided that that's a little bit too small for what I want to do. So I went ahead and traced the big side of the cup. And it doesn't matter because this is all going to be covered with foil. So it doesn't matter that I did extra pencil marks. Okay. So now what you're going to want to do is cut out your circle, and that will be your next step. So like I said, I don't like the little circle. I want to use the big circle. So I'm going to cut out from my cardboard the big circle. All right, so I've got my circle cut out. Remember that other little circle's there, and it's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off a smaller sheet of the foil. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay it over the circle and kind of press all around the circle so you kind of see the indentation of the circle. That way you're going to know what area we are going to work in, okay? Then you can lay that aside. After you get that indentation, just lay it aside for just a second. Then what I want you to do is you're going to put the paper clip, I'm going to try and do this. I need to set up my video station like I did in the spring. You're going to slide your paper clip at the top of your circle, okay, and you want to leave a little bit out, and again, I'll tell you why in a little bit, but that's going to be important for how you're going to hang it on the tree. Okay, so now we can lay this aside, and we're going to get our foil back and just lay it down. Now I'm going to tell you why we needed a dull pencil. We are actually going to press designs into our foil. That is called embossing. Embossing was started many years ago in the 1500s, which is really long ago, and people did embossing, and what they did with metal is they pressed designs into metal and paper. So then you would see all of the different designs. One of the things that is embossed right now that you see every day are coins. So if you look at a penny or a dime and you see the faces on there and the words, those are all a type of embossing. So what we're going to do, this is just a basic form of embossing, and once you know how to do it, it's pretty fun. So the reason we want the dull pencil is because if it's too sharp, it will actually just tear the foil. So it's better to actually have a dull pencil. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm just going to start putting designs on my foil. Now we're making ornaments, so I thought it would be fun to kind of do some little patterns. And we all talk a lot about patterns and texture, so I know that you guys can do all kinds of cool patterns on your ornament. So all you're going to do is just press, and you don't even have to press hard. You just kind of press with a normal pressure onto the foil, and you will see it will start making these lines into the foil. And I'm going to do it all over with various patterns. It's kind of cool because once you do one, you can do a bunch of them. So if you end up not liking one, you can just do another one. So I'm just going to fill this up. Maybe I'll put some hearts down here. You guys can get really intricate designs if you want, especially if you're doing this with family members and you've got some of your adults in the family. Maybe they want to do some really intricate designs, or they don't even have to be very complicated. It's up to you. I think I'll do some stripes down here. Another little line. And see what we have our circle there, so we kind of know the area that we have to work on. I might turn one of these little circles up here into Mickey, because you guys all know how much I love Mickey. So there's a little hidden Mickey there, okay? So you guys can do whatever you want. It's really fun. But this is not even the side that we are going to end up using on our ornament. When you flip it over, you will see the design pressed onto the other side. This is called the embossing part because the design is actually raised up from the aluminum foil and you can touch it. It's really cool. But see how if the pencil was sharp, it would have just tore through the foil. Okay, so it might take a little practice with knowing how hard to press. All right, so now that we have our design on there, I went ahead and trimmed the foil. Now you want to be careful with your foil during all of this because foil can easily rip. So you want to carefully cut out this piece of foil. And notice that I didn't cut perfectly around the circle, right? I actually left lots of area around because we're going to end up wrapping the foil around our cardboard circle. Okay, so we're going to carefully just lay this aside for just a second, and then we're going to pull out our cardboard circle, and what we're going to do is we're going to take glue and we're going to smother glue all over our circle. All right, so I got all of my glue smothered all over my circle. So now what we want to try and do is we want to try and line up the circle on the foil and press it down. So I turned over my foil. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this with like one hand. I'm going to try and line it up on the foil and press down. My paper clip kind of shifted a little bit, so I'm just kind of shifting that back up. We want to try and leave that loop out, because remember, that is what kind of helps us hang it on the tree. So now we're going to press down. And then what we want to do is we want to put glue along the edge of, this side of the circle. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but I went along the edge of the circle and put glue there. And now what I'm going to do is carefully wrap the foil around the circle. When you get up to the top of the circle where your little paper clip is, we're going to end up trimming that. So just kind of wrap all around it and leave that open until the end here. Okay, so I've got it wrapped pretty good, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slit up at the top. Okay, so see how I cut a slip up at the top, and that's going to help me wrap the foil around that top of the paper clip so it will still stick out, because remember, that's like our loop. All right, and then what you can do is you can look and see it's not a perfect circle, so you can just go back in and kind of keep pressing around until you can get your circle all tight. And then you have your shiny little ornament. And what you can do is you can put a hook through here, and that will hang on the Christmas tree. Now you don't have to just do circle shapes, you can do triangle shapes. I did this one yesterday. I did like a little Christmas tree shape. If you have colored Sharpie markers, not the Crayola, okay? I love Crayola, but it doesn't work as well with the Crayola. If you have the Sharpie markers, you can try and add color on the foil, and it looks really cool. But if you do, I'll just show you what happens when you use these markers. What'll happen is you'll see it bead up and it won't dry all the way. It's weird. Now you can kind of rub it in and it'll keep a little bit of the color, but it kind of just smears off, okay? So that's why the Sharpie markers work a little bit better, but you can still see a little bit of the color. So you can kind of play around with that if you want, or you can just leave it silver. And you can do all kinds of different designs. Foil actually has two sides. One side is super shiny and the other side is a little bit dull. So you can decide if you want it on the super shiny side, that's the super shiny side, or the dull side. This one, I ended up doing more on the dull side, but then this one I did on the super shiny side. And then you can just have all kinds of fun doing all different kinds of shapes. And this is really good for all ages. I know my older kids, you guys can do some really, like I said, intricate designs and play around with it. You guys can do hearts, all kinds of stuff. So play around, have fun, and make it a family project. Okay? I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.